Well, we are at the farmer's market, which is the place to shop. So we're talking about food in season and local, which also means that that's where the most life force is, the most prana is contained in the food. So when you come to the farmer's market, you're just amazed with the kind of bursting of energy feeling of the things they have. And so we're going to be selecting some things just thinking of that. How much prana, how much life force is in this? And so this onion is a nice thing for a vegetarian diet, even though it's a rajasic food. It's a good, adds flavor. And these particular onions are nice and small. So we got some early fall squash. This is a delicata variety. So it's a little more yin type of squash, sweeter and takes less time to grow, but excellent for the season. Look at this, ta-da! This is the most incredible thing of the season. Fresh peaches right off the vine, juicy. This is awesome. And this is not like in the winter coming from Mexico or California. It's right here. So it's time to enjoy them. Here we have it, the early season apple cider. So again, if you have a sweet tooth and sweets are going to be in your diet, then something like this is better than candy bars, sugar, cookies, Starbucks, etc. Wow. So mushrooms, shiitakes are excellent for flavor. So when you're cooking vegetarian, anything you can get for a little advantage for flavor and variety is really helpful. Check those radish, just bursting with life. And then here's the chard. This is one of our favorites. We just love using these greens. And they're just beautiful, so vibrant, the colors. Peppers, they're excellent way to flavor food, especially protein type things like seitan or tofu or tempeh with onion or peppers. It's an excellent combination, and also the variety of colors is what is really amazing and influences the feeling of the cooking. And the cabbage is an excellent staple vegetable food. Unlike the peppers, the tomatoes, the potatoes, a lot of what's here is more flavoring and texturing type of foods. The cabbage, however, is a real staple type food, like root vegetables, cabbage, the kind of lowly vegetables that are actually the ones that are the really good ones. All right, so we're talking about the circles of like what's in the center of your diet, and then how to widen out and kind of into wider and wider circles. And most of the things they offer at the farmer's market are in a kind of wider circle of vegetables, like including potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, mushrooms, onions. These are things that are kind of supplementing and adding flavor to food, but they're not real staple vegetables from a yogic perspective. And the more staple foods, they're not selling at the farmer's market, partly because people don't want to cook them or buy them, because they're kind of like, what do I do with this? Like turnips, rutabagas, carrots, burdock root, cabbage, things like that that are like more like the lowly vegetables. And so we're going to go to a natural foods market and select some of those. But the things they have at the farmer's market really belong in their diet, but you just want to be able to place them within the feeling of the circles. So here we have the locally grown white turnips. So we're going to grab some of these. We've got hiding out in here the burdock root, which is a very curious looking one that causes you to go, what do I do with this? But this is an amazing, it's the most young vegetable considered. It's an early season for this. Not quite in its winter is probably the best for it. Rutabagas we'll go for. Daikon radish. See, these are the staples. So that's basically it. Your roots. Carrot, daikon, turnip, burdock, rutabaga. The cabbage family is all good. Broccoli, cauliflower, kind of bok choy type, chard cabbage. Protein is in the kind of more inner circles of the diet. So you have tofu, tempeh, seitan, and here's the selection. We like the extra firm. That's the ones for sauteing. And then they have an excellent bulk organic tofu. And these type of baked ones are good for more, not as often of use. For convenience, more processed and ready-made. Hummus is an excellent source of protein and combining like the grain with the bean. Seitan, which is an excellent protein source. Tempeh is a little more challenging. We have found this tempeh product, which is a ready-made, but it's also really tasty and helps to flavor any kind of saute. Or you can eat this right out of the package too. And then we also use more occasionally, but we do use these tofurkey, the fake meat sausages, and for hot dogs and things like that. That can be good to shake things up, and it's easy food. It doesn't take a lot to prepare it. So here we have the bulk grain section, which is the real heart of the diet and where you get your main food. And here's the main of the main, the short grain brown rice. They do have different varieties that's good to shake it up with the long grain types, or they have basmati. They have the sweet brown rice, which is really good for cereal. We'll do a ghetto kitchen post on that. And also they have the wheat berries. So this is what we use for making chapatis, the hard red winter wheat berries. These yellow, the spring soft ones are excellent for pastry flours, for making pies or things like that. And then included in this section is the legumes and the beans. And so those are part of they're in the more inner circles of the diet. The good ones that we like are adzuki beans. Do use chickpeas a lot. The split peas are excellent. These are good for dals. The red lentils. We use this pinto beans. So the oils that you use in your diet and in your cooking are very, very important. And so we're in the oil section. We tend to go for first cold pressed organic extra virgin olive oil, which is a mono unsaturated fat. So it's an excellent choice. We also go for Japanese toasted sesame oil, and there's a whole bunch of different varieties. We kind of fluctuate between them all. If you're going to need a lighter oil for deep frying or like baking and things like that, this is another mono unsaturated fat. Canola oil is a good choice. So when you're trying to make approach 50% of your diet being whole grains, it means that your breakfast pretty much has to be grains. And so we use steel cut oats. These are excellent pressure cooked. We use where is it?
It's right there.
We use the creamy wheat, creamy rice and creamy wheat. Although we make our own cream of rice, but we also use this cream of wheat cereal. We use oat bran some, which is obviously oat bran is not the whole grain, but you
need to flip it up.
You need to flip it up, exactly. We don't do too much of it. It's kind of one of our macrobiotic downfalls, but it's excellent, which is using seaweed in your diet. And we do some, and we do the kombu. You can easily do this in your beans. You put a strip of kombu in your beans, and wakame goes in the miso. Another whole grain alternative to use to get variety and to make things quick and easy is good noodles. We use these Eden brown rice udon, soba, but there's wild yam, there's buckwheat. So we mix it up with these different varieties of noodles. Rice spirals, kamut spirals, rigatoni. These make good variety for getting the whole grain as the center of the diet. Okay, so for snacks, we try to keep it as whole grain as possible, and we select like crackers and things that are with the least ingredient listing you can find. So that's just basically wheat, possibly a little bit of oil, sea salt, really basic stuff. When the list is long and it's got a lot of names and weird stuff, then that's when you want to avoid.